Hi, I'm Erik Laykin, CEO of Global Data Risk. Singapore does not happen by accident. We're standing at the edge of the Strait of Malacca, one of the most important maritime corridors in the world. Nearly 40% of global trade passes through these waters. Energy shipments, semiconductors, manufactured goods, subsea data cables. This is a circulation system, and Singapore sits at its heart. A city-state with no natural resources, no margin for error, no strategic depth. Yet it has become one of the most disciplined financial and legal jurisdictions in the world. That transformation is governance. As capital recalibrates across Asia, Singapore has quietly absorbed responsibilities that require predictability. Where uncertainty has grown in hubs like Hong Kong, Singapore has inherited the mantle of arbitration, structured finance, dispute resolution, and capital preservation. The rule of law is stable. Regulators are serious. Courts are enforceable. Contracts hold. For multinational companies, stability is oxygen. But something else has happened, and is continuing to happen. Singapore is no longer just a banking hub. It is becoming the governance layer of AI infrastructure in Southeast Asia. Artificial intelligence requires three things. Well, actually more, because it requires technology. But it really requires capital, data connectivity, and energy. Singapore, it has the capital. It has extraordinary subsea cable connectivity, and it has institutional stability. What does it not have in abundance? Land and power. So just across the causeway in Johor, Malaysia, dozens of hyperscale and AI data center projects are under construction. Johor is rapidly emerging as the physical capacity layer, benefiting from lower land costs and greater energy flexibility, including natural gas allocation from the gas fields of Malaysia. Singapore and Johor are no longer separate stories. They are becoming an integrated AI corridor. Singapore governs, Johor scales. Singapore structures the capital, Malaysia absorbs the load. That dynamic matters, because hyperscale infrastructure is not just about servers. It is about energy policy, cross-border regulatory frameworks, data sovereignty, and geopolitical positioning. For global data risk, this is precisely where complexity emerges. When AI infrastructure spans jurisdictions, when data flows across borders, when energy allocations shift from export markets to domestic consumption, when trade secrets move through cloud environments that are physically in one country and legally governed in another, risk multiplies. Disputes follow infrastructure. Arbitration follows capital. Digital theft follows scale. Singapore increasingly becomes the forum where those disputes land, even if the physical servers sit across the border. And that requires independent, technical, cross-border risk management. At the confluence of maritime trade and the intersection of finance and digital infrastructure, at the hinge between India, Southeast Asia, and East Asia, Singapore is evolving from a trading port into a systems coordinator for the AI era. Not just because it has the most land, not just because it has the most energy, but because it has governance. And in the era of artificial intelligence, governance is infrastructure. And this is GDR Spotlight.